Good morning, everybody. Hello. How's everybody doing today? I hope everyone is doing well. Happy Sunday. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Dustin, and this channel, Modern Metaphysicae, is about all things occult and esoteric with a very heavy lean on the tarot. If you are returning, thank you so much for coming back and hanging out. Today, I thought we could do another episode of recent roundups where I share with you all of the things that have found their way into my collection over the past month or so. So, yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you guys have a coffee or a tea or an adult beverage or something to sip on or snack on while we go over all of the things I have to share today. So, yeah, hello, everybody. Good morning. There's so many of you guys here. Yeah, today was a hot day. I had a rough night last night. I did not sleep very well. If I seem a little off or my energy is off, that's why. Yesterday was not a great day, and I slept like crap last night. So, but we will not let that uh, overcome us. So, as always, guys, with these live streams, if there's anything you're interested in that I'm sharing today, there are links, if there is a link, in the description box down below. Down there, you'll find all of the other good stuff. So links to my social media where you can connect with me, a link to my personal website where you can book a tarot reading with me, as well as a link to our channel membership program, which is Scala Metaphysicae, where you can unlock some extra goodies like monthly taroscope readings from yours truly, monthly lunar tarot spreads that I design and send out every month with like an astrological overview that you can print out and put in your grimoire and keep in your planner, things like that. You also get to unlock our community Discord server, as well as get access to Study Hall, which is our little like group book club. We have a lot of fun in there. Right now we're reading The Tarot, Magic, Alchemy, Hermeticism, and Neoplatonism by Robert M. Place. So yeah, if you're interested in any of that stuff, check out all the links and the stuff in the doobly-doo down below. And yeah, good. We'll get some stuff going here. Also, if you guys have questions or comments or anything you'd like me to see or read, please do at Modern Metaphysicae, or put it in all caps. Sometimes I do miss things. Chat can get a little busy. If I do miss it, just keep posting it over and over and over again. Until I see it or one of the moderators makes fun of me for not seeing it. Don't feel bad. You won't get in trouble for spamming or anything like that, okay? So yeah. Hello. Um, we don't do anything. We don't do politics. Please in chat, no politics. Um, let's see here. Everybody's hanging out. No hat, owl mug. We have a hat, no owl mug. um, everybody likes to predict whether or not I'm wearing the hat. You guys were very chatty this morning. Oh my goodness. No hat, sun mug. Nope. That's so funny. I like the emoji prediction, Lexi. That's great. So funny. All right. Well, let's get started because I've got some cool stuff to share. We're gonna start with books as always. So I had a couple books come in last month that are both amazing, you guys. Amazing. So let's see if I can get this into the camera here. We have like some dapple. Do I have something that I can put up here kind of to block that? It's very bright. There we go. That'll help a little. The sun is streaming in my window and it's making it very difficult to see things. Okay. So the first thing I wanted to share with you guys is this beautiful book. This is The History of Alchemy, Influences on Culture, Science, and Society. This was a book that I shared on the upcoming and new releases series some time ago. And it came in and it's gorgeous. I mean, this book, first of all, it's incredibly well constructed. The paper that it's printed on is absolutely wonderful. Um, yeah, it looks to be a really good book. I started reading a little bit of it. It is very academic. So if you're looking for something that's not academic and more spiritual or something like that, this might not be the best thing for you. But I am very interested in this. There's a lot of really interesting perspectives in this text about alchemy, kind of from all over the world. Lots of beautiful illustrations, as you can see. It is Smith sewn too, by the way, guys. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a sewn binding, which we all know we love on this channel. So yeah, I'm really impressed by this book. So Renaissance and Esotericism and Alchemy. I perused this chapter already quite a bit. I love it. So yeah, I'm very excited to dig into this book. Once I have completed it, I will do a review of it. I have a lot of stuff on my reading list right now. So Alchemy and the Rosicrucianism. For those of you interested, we can take a perusal of the table of contents. So we have early alchemy and the ancient world, of alchemy, astrology, and magic in late Roman Egypt. We have alchemical practices in Roman Egypt, and then we have Alexandrian and Byzantine. There's a whole chunk on Hermes Trismegistus, medieval Islamic world, India, Jewish alchemy and Kabbalah. Then we have a whole chunk on medieval and early modern alchemy in Europe. So what people are most familiar with, I'm sure, late Renaissance esotericism and alchemy, Rosicrucianism, and then we have transition to modern science and enlightenment. So alchemy, chemistry, and medicine in the early modern era, alchemy and chemistry, and then alchemy in the academy, from rejection to reconstruction. And then I'm sure you'll notice on all of these, they're all written by different people. So there's several different authors in this. So it's like a collection of essays on alchemy, which is really cool. So if you have any kind of remote inkling or interest in alchemy, check this one out because it's really cool. And the thing about it is, because it is kind of divided into like short essays like that, you can you can make this, it makes it very digestible, as I like to say. So you don't have to like read it cover to cover to like glean some, massive thesis or something like that. It's a little bit more digestible. I guess I said that already, right? So yeah, check this one out. And it is available on Amazon pretty easily. There is a affiliate link down below if you're interested in picking up a copy. It's very affordable too, by the way. I was amazed. And the book is, I mean, it's gorgeous. The cover's gorgeous. It's beautifully constructed. It's zero complaints about this book. So there's that. I also got in this beautiful book. Whoops, I bumped the mic. This is Cryptic. So from the Voynich to the Angel Diaries, the story of the world's most mysterious manuscripts. So I also showed this on upcoming and new releases. I'm very excited to sink my teeth into this one. This is right up my alley. I have always had a huge fascination with John Dee, the Voynich manuscripts, anything that was kind of really esoteric and out there and like unsolved and very mysterious. I like that was, I mean, even before I got very heavily interested in occultism and things like that, I had always had this cursory kind of um attraction to those things. I mean, I still remember hearing about like the Voynich manuscript like way back when um I like in high school, early high school, or even middle school, and just being absolutely fascinated by the idea that there was this book that no one could translate and it was mysterious and it probably involved some sort of magic and things like that, right? So very, very excited to have this in my hands. It is a nicely printed book by Yale Press. Nothing crazy here, but yeah, I am very excited. There's the table of contents if anyone wants to check it out. We have a lot of Latin in this one that I'm not going to even pretend to attempt to pronounce because my Latin is terrible. Um, but yeah, there's a chunk obviously on the Voynich manuscript. There's a chunk on Stegnographia, which is really interesting to me. We have the Angel Daughters of John Dee. We have the Turpinania Tower parchment. Yeah, there's some, and there's even some stuff in here I'm not familiar with. So very excited to check this one out. Again, this is very academic, Yale University Press, obviously. It does have some plates in it. In the middle, there are some plates. But by large, it's unillustrated. So, but obviously we do have plates from the Voynich manuscript and other things. Mr. John Dee, I'm sure a lot of people recognize him. So yeah, there's lots in here, but again, very, very academic approach. So if you're interested in old manuscripts, grimoires, the like, this might be something of interest to you. So I'm very excited to dig into this. And it's not, I was actually surprised, it's not a huge book. It's let's see, that's the index. We won't count the index or the illustrations or the bibliography because that's quite extensive, obviously, given. So with the notes, it's 289 pages. So it's not, it's not massive. So yeah, Cryptic, go check it out if you haven't done so already. There's that. Okay, so those are the books I got in. Obviously, my bookshelves are quite full, so I'm very picky on what I bring in because I have to always kind of rearrange and finagle things in order to get them to kind of fit and make sure that there's room for everybody at the end here. So someday I'll probably go through and purge a little bit, but today is not that day. um let's see here. Just catching up on chat here, making sure I'm not missing anything. Keep secrets until my what secret did I keep until my live? I'm confused. Well, I have to keep something secret. That I can't I can't spoil everything in the Discord. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't have a reason to watch, right? Like that's we gotta keep some things interesting. Gotta keep a few cards up my sleeve, right? As the saying goes. Um, yeah, books and boxes are the worst. I did that for a couple years, and then it's always like I need to like I want to look at this one book to find remember this thing or something like that. And then it's like, what box is it in? Where does the book live? I don't remember. Yeah, that is not fun. That is not fun. Yes, a little air of mystique, one might say. All right, so let's move on to tarot. I got quite a few things in. I got a couple new decks, as well as a couple of Kickstarters came in that I wanted to share with you guys. So the first deck is this was um, a suggestion from someone in chat that I honestly don't remember right now who suggested it, but the last live stream I showed a similar deck and someone was like, "Oh, do you have the Primero Tarot?" And it's very tiny. As you can see, it's very tiny in my giganto-enormous hands. Um, do I have an easily accessible standard tarot card for scale for you guys? Yeah, hold on, I still have this out. We always need a standard tarot card for scale in our videos, right? Who do we have today? We have our Page of Swords. So as you can see, it's a little guy. So we're gonna zoom in here a little bit so you guys can see better. There we go. Okay. So this a viewer suggested, and I love it. It's super cute. I love kind of like tarot playing card decks. Um, they make me happy. And this one falls right into line with that. So it's very tarot, but also very playing card. Follows the RWS structure, is kind of really nicely put together. It's printed on like a linen cardstock. Um, I love the kind of art style of it. The art style of it actually kind of reminds me a little bit of um, like almost 50s art, I want to say. Like I remember thinking like, oh, this is like Bewitched kind of like, Nick at Night style artwork and stuff like that, which I kind of dig. Um so the miners are gorgeous. I love this one's amazing. I love that 8 of hearts or 8 of cups. The backs are nice, by the way, for our back people. Um You do get the full quartz, which is great. The majors are wonderful. Really great depiction of the majors. Um, and this deck is super affordable. It's only $25. You can pick it up off of Etsy or off of Amazon. Um, it's a great little deck. Look at that hermit. It does have that gilding that sticks. I'm sure you've noticed that I've been having to do this. It does have that like that shiny gold gilding that sticks a little bit, so that is kind of not great, but um yeah, look at the moon. I love this moon. And I love that it's like um what's the word that I'm looking for? You just get the outlines, the kind of shadow. But yeah, for $25, you can't beat. There's our Fool, and then you get a couple of Jester cards or Joker cards. So that's kind of fun. So it's a great little deck. Um, was really impressed by it. So lovely deck. It does come with a little guidebook as well. Just a tiny little white book. Nothing crazy, just keywords inside. So um but yeah, super cute, super fun. Love the traditional um suits for for the playing cards. So yeah, Go check this one out. Great little deck. So there's that. I also got in the mass market of the Tempest Tarot, which I'm quite impressed by. I did mention this, I think, in the last live stream that I'd gotten this. But yeah, first of all, like, check out this cool box design. Like this little thing. I was quite impressed by this. Was anyone else? This is a it's a tuck box, but it's not like a super crappy thin tuck box. It also has the fold line here, so you can fold this down and really get in there and pull the cards out, which is nice. And the cardboard is like a thicker, like, I don't know, not cereal box cardboard. So I was quite impressed by that. Um, I don't know how well it's going to hold up though. So there is that. I do have the indie version of this somewhere. I didn't have time to pull it out, but I will say that the mass market of this is almost indistinguishable from the indie version if you didn't know any better. The artwork is identical. The cardstock on the mass market version, I will say, is a little bit better in my opinion in terms of like its shuffleability. It's a little thinner. It's not quite as stiff and rigid, but it's great, like absolutely great, right? I really love it. It's a beautiful deck. This hands down is like my favorite kind of watery vibes deck. Um, Anytime I have a deck or a reading that I need, that I kind of want this kind of vibe for, this is what I reach for. I love this world, like the old world map. Um, it's great. I do know a lot of people, I will say I've heard a lot of complaints about the miners being a little too pippish. They are on the pippish side, especially the first few. And then they tend to get a little bit more scenic as they go on, depending. So some of them lean more towards like Marseille slash Thoth, and then some lean more towards RWS. So that could be something that is not ideal for some people. I don't mind it. I kind of like it. I love the quartz in this too. I will say the indie version, the gold feels more gold than the mass market. It would have been cool if they had used that like gold foiling technique, like this almost, um, on the gold in this deck. That would have been amazing. I would have loved to see that, but they didn't. But it's a great deck. I love it. Very clean, very simple. Um, Nothing crazy in terms of crazy colors or anything like that, but yeah, it's a great little deck. See, very Marseille. um, yeah, I totally agree with Cats in here. I love the feeling of the indie version as well, but the mass market is definitely easier to shuffle for sure. The backs are wonderful. It's a great deck. I'm really happy to see that US Games picked this up. I will say it's a little bigger too, I think, if I remember correctly, than standard tarot size. Yeah. Yeah, it's a teensy bit bigger than standard tarot. Um every time I pick this up, I go to shuffle it and then I'm like, it feels weird. And that's because it's just a little bit bigger. And I have big hands. So like this is difficult for me, like to riffle it. So if you're someone who's a riffle shuffler, just be aware of that. It is a slightly bigger deck, but it's just such a great shuffler. Feels wonderful in hand. Um, yeah. And this is a deck I turn to. I mean, I use this deck a lot um, over the since it's come out, and I definitely was like, yeah, I'll pick up a mass market version. That way, I have an extra copy, and this will probably be the one that I use more often now, just because it is a lot easier and more affordable. So, and it does come with a little guidebook. Nothing mind blowing in the guidebook. I did take a spin through it, as one might say. Um, pretty standard little white book stuff here. It's not illustrated, which I'm totally fine with. Definitely saves some room. There's a few spreads in the back. These were in the indie version as well. So that's always fun. Classic Celtic cross, a little like treasure map, tarot spread, and the Tempest Tarot spread. So pretty straightforward there. Um, so there's that. This new little box design though is like, I'm like, okay, if we need to save money um in places because things are getting crazy in the world, like if we're gonna do it in the box, I guess this is a good way to do it. Like it's a tuck box, but it's a nice tuck box. Just it sounds, it's so weird to say that. Like it's a nice tuck box. I don't know how I feel. So there's that. The Tempest Tarot. I also got in, you guys, this one's crazy. This is the Tarot of Oxalia, I think is I'm pronouncing it correctly. So I opted for this beautiful version that came in. This was the limited edition that came in the Kickstarter. I I think that this is going to be available on their website. As of right now, when I looked, it is not available. So it is currently in an out of print status. But I do think that this is going to become available later. So if you're someone that's like, oh my God, I'm in love with this, keep checking their website or maybe shoot them an email and you can find out when it's available. But this version, from my understanding, it was only available as a part of Kickstarter. So it came with this like beautiful ceramic deck box. And you all know I'm a box person, right? I'm not a bag person. I've always been a box person, and this thing is really lovely. It's kind of like opalized. I don't know if it really picks up on camera all that much, but it's lovely. This is by the Art of Play. Um, Inside you get your deck in a little tuck box, and the addition of the deck that I got is the fun fact letter opener. So here's a little tip for you guys. If you ever have a tuck box like this where you just don't want to destroy it getting into it, because this is really difficult, and if I were to pull on this it would rip and you can't get into it, or if you're just having a hard time opening a tuck box, get a letter opener or a butter knife. This is my letter opener, and slide it into the little cubby here and push the knife up against where the flap is where you want to open it, and just lift and it will pop it open without damaging the box. Little tip for you guys. So this is the deck. It's absolutely um gorgeous. There's one more there it is. So this colorway was only available from the Kickstarter. It has like this really pretty opalized gilding, which is really cool. I love this gilding. It's so subtle, but it's lovely. And then the cards themselves are in this kind of cool tone colorway. Um, it's a gorgeous deck. Really cool. I don't have anything else like this in my collection, really. Um, yeah, this is such a cool deck. So I was really excited that this came in. The cardstock is amazing. It's like a really nice linen cardstock. Feels very similar to Usi's Pagan Otherworlds. Um, yeah, gorgeous deck. Not my typical um style or deck. Very, very feminine leaning, which is fine, right? Oh, and the backs are amazing too. The backs have like a opalescence too. I don't know if you can see that. So it's on the backs and the sides. So yeah, it's a beautiful deck. Really lovely deck. Little. So yeah, love, love, love. Gorgeous, gorgeous deck. So I don't know how much I will use this, to be honest. I definitely bought this more as like an object of beauty and like a tarot collectible. It does come with a little guidebook, um, which is really lovely printed and sewn. I love when guidebooks are sewn like this. It just like it's such a nice detail when you have this like sewn binding as opposed to like the staples. Um, really well printed little guidebook. So it does come in another colorway, which is like browns and greens, and it's like that very kind of like 70s grandma kitchen core vibe colorway. So beautiful deck though, and I just love the little I like ceramic box thing. I just thought that was so clever and so neat. Um, so isn't that cool? So yeah, check that one out. Okay. Now, last but certainly not least, let me zoom the camera out over here because we're gonna need some room for this one. Um, I finally got in my Sambucus Tarot collection. Look at this. Look at this is the biggest Kickstarter thing I've ever gotten ever. Like, hello? It's huge. I don't know if you can see how big this is. The box is gorgeous. Um, let's get it over here so you guys can check it out with me. Um, I was very excited for this. So the Sambucus Tarot originally came out from Vermilion some time ago. Like it was a little while ago. Anybody in chat know? Um yeah, it's a big boy. Um and it came out some time ago, and it's a lovely deck. It's kind of very graphic style, very modern. Um but I didn't really pull the trigger on it until I saw this little collection, and I was like, yeah, this is really cool. I want to pick this one up. I was quite impressed. Um oh my goodness, you guys in chat are out of control. Okay, so I've got more coffee in me now, which is good. Um switch cameras. So it is kind of a standard box situation, so I gotta like break the vacuum here. So give me just a second. We'll open this up. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. So it came with a whole bunch of little goodies. There was a yes or no coin. There was this lovely art card and sticker or bookmark situation thing, a packing slip, which I just threw in there with that because, yeah, there's a magnet. This is like a full magnet. And then there was also um, three little bags, which I have a whole box of these bags from decks I've gotten that I will never use. I will never use because I hate, despise, and loathe bags. Okay, so this is the presentation. It's really lovely. It has like a foam insert, and there's like a paper thing in the foam insert on top of the foam insert that's like it's kind of glued to it. But I will say mine got damaged while it was shipping because some of the decks got loose. And so you can see if I lift one of these out here, you can probably see there's a couple like little rips. So that made me a little sad. I'll be honest, that made me a little sad, but such is the way of life, right? But all the decks arrived like in pristine condition. They're all limited edition. So there is a RWS, a Marseille, a Thoth, and a Lenormand. Um, and they're all really gorgeous. I'm not a big Lenormand reader. I've tried working with Lenormand a number of different times. It's a system that just it's too limited for me, and I think also it's too it's almost too woo, I guess, which is ironic for me to say, I guess. It's not a system that I turn to very often. There are certain times I've read Lenormand for very specific reasons, and I'll read Lenormand when people ask me to. But it's not a system that I turn to quite often. But the Lenormand deck in here is gorgeous. I first of all, like, can we talk about the format? Like this long, thin format. I love long, skinny decks like this. I don't know what it is, but I just love them. I think it's so clever. The gilding on this is really pretty. It's gold with like a opalescent sheen. The back design is gorgeous. And the art style you'll see is kind of uniform through the entire collection. So beautiful cards. Yeah, it's kind of like a bookmark style, right? Yeah, Lenormand bookmarks. Um, very cool. The cardstock is like a how do it again? It's like a linen, very similar to Pagan Otherworlds by Usi cardstock. So there's a Lenormand in here. We'll start with the Marseille. Um, the box for this is kind of interesting. So each one has like a little like uh edition sticker on it. This one kind of opens up like this, which is kind of awkward because like when you go to get it out, you have like these flaps in the way. It's not very practical. It's cool, but it's not practical. Um, this one is lovely. Each one has a decent little guidebook. Um, this one is silver with opalized gilding. Again, same kind of cardstock. Pagan Otherworlds, Usi, very lovely. Do I think that they are available individually now? I'm not sure if they are or not. I did link in the description box to it. It wouldn't surprise me if they were individually available. I'm not sure though. Can someone check? Tom says yes, they will be. So, if not already. So, I think the plan is for them to have individual editions of these available. So, but you can see the Lenormand, or sorry, the Marseille is quite interesting. So it's split artwork. So you have the Kabbalistic Tree of Life as well as the Astrological Association um, on the card, and you get like traditional kind of art on it. So if you're studying kind of the zodiacal, astrological, occult sort of connections with tarot, this might be a really cool tool for you. Um, but it's a beautiful deck. The artwork is really gorgeous. I do wish there was just only an art version of the Marseille. I don't know if they're planning on doing that. If they do, I'll probably pick it up because the artwork on the Marseille deck is gorgeous. I do like having decks like this. Like these are great teaching review example decks. So I like to pick these up when I can because they make good visual aids and things like that. So beautiful stuff. So that's the Marseille. Then we have, I can't ever get this back in here. Then we have the RWS, which the RWS is kind of clever. It has like this kind of a situation. Like the boxes are really neat and interesting. So this one is cool on its own. So this whole deck is horizontal, which is neat. So as you can see again, you have like this coppery, it looks orange on camera right now, at least on my screen. In person, it's very coppery. It's like a penny, like copper. But you can see that the deck is horizontal. Let me zoom in a little so you guys can see the cards better. But all of the cards have like this circular format where you get again some of the associations with the card and then the kind of more traditional artwork in the middle, which is really kind of clever and cool. And this is very different, right? Like I really can't think of another deck that's like that. And I like how some of the traditional symbols are highlighted as well, um, in the cards. Really kind of interesting, cool. Like you have the keys here, right? On the Hierophant, you have his the benediction hand symbol, etc. So really interesting way. I love Temperance as a traditional angel. Isn't he cool? I love him. He's so cool with all his little eyes. I love traditional depictions of angels. I don't know what it is. It's so cool. um yeah, very, very cool. He's so cool. Again, a really cool learning tool if you're trying to learn the zodiacal associations and things like that. But I love how the whole deck's horizontal. I just thought that was really clever. And they made a really kind of clever use of the card space in terms of its design, right? Like it feels like almost like a stained glass window, right? Really cool. Very different. And again, that's why I picked this up, is because it is very different. It's not, you know, it's not the usual rehash that we see in everything. So yeah. So that's the RWS. Really cool. Sneak that back in here. And the guidebooks are pretty sweet. This one is horizontal, so it follows the format. And it has some interesting little prompts. There are multiple languages and things in here as well. So there is that. And then last, but certainly not least, is the Thoth Tarot. So they finally made a Thoth. This one's like a matchbook style deck, and this is the one I was most excited for and most happy with. So it's a very true to Thoth kind of take in that art style. Um, there's a hermit, and you can see all the kind of traditional symbols that we see in the Thoth. There's our Aeon card. And I also love how the border is a little kind of nod towards Crowley's work. Like there's a very obvious kind of like, like I like that. Everyone's favorite devil card, the very phallic devil card, Ace of Wands. And you can see the titles on all the cards are still present, still the same. I love that swiftness card. Isn't that gorgeous? It's very cool. Very cool take on the Thoth. If I were to say get any of the decks, this is the one. If you are a Thoth reader and you enjoy the Thoth, this is a really cool Thoth deck. There's the Ace of Swords. Very, very true to the original deck. And again, they pulled all of like the original symbolism and stuff and kind of layout and colors. So it's very in homage in that sense, but it's also very much its own thing. So I like I very much like it. Like look at that 2 of discs. You still have the yin and yang, you still have the same color palette, but again, in that its own kind of thing. Really well done. It's really well done. Some of the court cards for you guys. So yeah, backs are great. And then the gilding on this one is like a like holographic gold speckly situation. So that's the Thoth. Yeah, very Art Deco. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it. Art Deco, but Eastern, kind of has like uh Middle Eastern vibe a little bit. So yeah, that's the Sambucus collection. Ugh. Which is absolutely the biggest Kickstarter I've ever gotten ever. It's huge. But yeah, that those are all the things I got in. Um, which is amazing. I'm amazed that I made it through all that in an hour. And I can't believe it's already been an hour. um, so yeah, what do you guys think? Anything in here strike you guys as fancy that you guys are super excited for? If you're watching this on replay, let me know if you got any of these uh, and what you think about them in the comment section down below. And now is also a great time if you guys have any questions for me to throw those in chat, or if you have anything that you want to share that you're really excited about, feel free to throw those in chat. If you're watching on replay, leave a comment. Let me know what you're super excited for. Yeah, the alchemy book is really cool. Yeah, it is really, really cool. Really, really cool. Patrick is waiting for your Supra. Supra is great. I love the Supra. The Broken Mirror Tarot. Yeah, I could see that. I can definitely see that. I have the Broken Mirror, so yeah, it's wonderful. The Vermilion guys have a lot of really cool decks. Like they make some really interesting things. I've gotten a number of decks from them in the past, what, 3-4 years since they've been around, and I've always liked them. Oh, I am super excited for the new Daniel Martin Diaz mythology deck. Yeah, that's one I am super hyped up for. Very excited for that myself. Anything else that anyone's super pumped for? Did anyone get anything that I shared? Um no, yes, no, maybe so. Oh, is it really? You got a shipping notice already? That's exciting. Yeah, the Lenormand is really cool. It is currently not available. I don't know if they're planning on offering it. I'm assuming that they are, Patrick. But it is currently not available on their website. I don't know if they're trying to just wrap up Kickstarter shipping and then put it on their website. They do often put the decks that they've kickstarted on their website later, so I would just keep checking or maybe shoot them an email. Yes, Lexi. The answer to this is yes. You absolutely should get it. I'm so excited for that deck. I am beyond hyped for that deck. I love Daniel Martin Diaz's work. His stuff is always really well done. I will say that the Sambucus is really cool. The Thoth is probably my favorite. So if you're going to pick up any of them, I would definitely say the Thoth. Oh, they are, by the way, they are all individually available. So I'm looking at this right now online. The RWS on their website is 48 US dollars. The Marseille is 48. The Thoth is 48, and the Lenormand is 48 individually, or you can get them all in the big box that I showed today for 168. So, and it gives you all the details. So if you're interested in one of them, you can snag um one at a time if you're interested in that. So, and if you haven't checked out their other decks, they've got a lot of really cool decks. There's a lot of decks that are in art styles that I have very little interest in, like at all. But they also have quite a few that I've picked up and really enjoyed, like the Dream of the Nile Tarot they did. Beautiful Egyptian deck. The Treasure Tarot is really lovely. I'm just looking down here at stuff. The Windmill Flag Tarot is really great. That one's really cool. If you haven't seen that one, go check that one out. The there was one, the Exile Tarot was really cool. Medusa's Tarot was really cool. Very much up my alley. Stars That Light Up the Night is really beautiful. The Retro Impressions Tarot I've shown on this channel multiple times. It's very Art Deco, very beautiful, very gorgeous. The Monsoon Tarot is really cool. I loved that deck. Still use it quite often. They have a number. They have a Cthulhu deck that's really cool. So yeah. Yeah, lots of really cool decks they've done. So yeah. If you haven't checked them out, go check them out. Highly recommend. So the new Soul 2022 tarot is really interesting, very kind of avant-garde, um, like painterly deck. Yeah, they really have like art styles that span the gamut. So yeah. All right, friends, we'll get things wrapped up. Um, so thank you so much for coming to hang out with me today and checking out all of the things that have recently come into my collection. As always, if there's something you're really excited or you want to share that you are really passionate about, please come back and leave a comment on this video once it goes up. I would love to hear what you guys are most excited about. That's how I get a lot of information and news about upcoming and new releases in tarot and occult books. So be sure to do that. There will be, let's see, no live stream next Sunday. But we will be having a study hall. So for those of you that are participating in study hall, we will be still doing study hall. So be sure to come back and check that out. Otherwise, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss when I go live. Don't miss when I go live in the future, and all that fun stuff. And as always, guys, I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out. And remember and never forget that everybody out there is fighting a battle that you know nothing about. So be kind to one another, okay? Bye, everybody.